Good afternoon and welcome to our very first webinar Wednesday. I am Dr. Candace Grant with the Racial Equity Office, and I am super excited to have our guest speaker here today, Miss Angela Wynette. Come on, give it up. Woo!
Guys. Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday.
Yes, we are in for an amazing treat, guys. I want you to get your pencils and paper out because I have been talking with Miss Wynette, and she has a lot of great things to offer for you guys today. And I'm looking at the chat and I'm looking at our list of people here, and we have a lot of shout outs I want to give out. I see Lago Elementary, H.S. Thompson is in the house. John Lewis, social justice is here. So go ahead and I see the MWBE department. So you guys are here and you are showing out, and we are super excited. So let me go on and give you a little background information about our guests, and then we will get started so you can do some of the talking and put your questions in the Q&A slot. All right. So our guest speaker today emerges as a guiding light, igniting countless souls with her profound messages and unyielding passion. Renowned as a motivational speaker, author, and a life coach, Miss Angela has dedicated herself to empowering individuals such as yourself from all walks of life. And so today she is going to be able to give us some explicit nuggets so that you guys can learn and get to know what she does in her life. So she has so many awards and accolades. I'm just going to say a few of them, okay? Angela has been featured in Forbes magazine for the 100 Women Entrepreneurs on the Rise edition. She was the front cover of Hustle Mama magazine for leading innovative entrepreneurs. Award winner of the Author of the Year for 2023 for the Dallas Fort Worth Gospel Award Show. 40 under 40 Business Elite Award winners in 2024. I mean, her list goes on and on. Not least, I won't say she has the International Impact Children's Book Award winner for 2025. So, guys, she has so much to offer for us today. So, I want to go on and give you the floor. I want you to tell us a little bit about your journey and what inspired you to become a life coach.
Well, hey, everybody. How's everyone doing? I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday. Even though it started off a little rocky with these storms, you made it to school. So that was a great start, and you're on to success. For me, what started my journey as a life coach, I was always that friend that everybody always wanted to get advice from. They always like, oh, you have such great advice. And so during the pandemic, my primary job, I was laid off at the time temporarily due to everything that was happening in the pandemic, and jobs were temporarily laying off. And so I decided to go back to school. So guys, you were never too old to go back to school. You can always do something and enhance your knowledge. Um, and so for me, that's what I did. I went back to school and I got my certification to become a life coach. I wanted to be able to tell people the right advice in the most educated way and not my opinion, because I didn't want to hurt people when I'm actually trying to help people. So I chose to go and get certification to learn how to really help people in the right educated way and give them tools that they can use for success later on down the line. So that's what started my journey as a life coach. And during that certification time, one of my professors said, you need to write a book. And I was like, who, me? And they was like, yes, you have an amazing story and everyone needs to hear your story. And so that's what started my journey of writing my books back in 2020. And 5 books later, here I am. So I'm excited.
Woo!
I have all kinds of books out. So I'm excited. They're for all ages. And as you mentioned earlier, yes, I have been on TV and newspapers and magazines. If you Google my name, I come up. So it's amazing to see the journey of where I have come.
I love that. That is so special. I like the fact that you said that love for becoming a life coach started when you were, you're just minding your business and your friends just started to ask you all, I want advice on this. And so if we have some young adults or young students out there and you're wondering, you're that friend that may be a path for you in thinking about, you know what, maybe I am a life coach, maybe I could be that in one day when I grow up. So that is so inspiring. And then to say that you've written multiple books, so tell us a little bit more about the books that you've written.
Well, as I said, I have five. So my first book that came out was basically a tell all about me. That was the first book, and it's called My Pain versus My Purpose. You guys can find it on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, my website. Again, you can Google me and it'll pop up. But it's first book is My Pain versus My Purpose, and it's basically talking about me divorcing me breaking up with the broken side of me, the side that dealt with insecurity, self-esteem issues, not feeling like I was good enough. We all go through it as adults, as kids, as teenagers. We all experience that. We have those different moments where we kind of question our ability and if we're good enough. And so this book talks about how you are good enough, and the obstacles that I overcame when I discovered that and when I figured that out. In college, I was diagnosed with cancer, and so I'm a cancer survivor. And so this was kind of the inspiration for that as well, of talking about my pain versus the purpose of overcoming obstacles, that just because you may get a diagnosis or you may get a bad circumstance, that is not your final destination. You can change that outcome for the better, but it starts with you. Um, the second book that I had is a sequel to that one, and it's called Hurt, Healed, Happy. Again, you can get all these on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, on my website. But this one is a roadmap. Everybody, when I wrote that book, they said, well, how did you achieve the happiness? How did you achieve becoming, out of that self-esteem issue, becoming more confident? And so this book is a roadmap that explains step by step of how I was able to overcome depression, overcome self-esteem, look at myself in a better, positive, healthy light, and then also teach others how to love themselves and do the same, because you are all amazing. You all have great things to offer. You just have to discover that and realize that about yourself. And then the next one is a project that I did with my friends. And this one is called Through Your Eyes. And it's My View versus the Worldview versus God. And this book was a book that I did with my friends. And I interviewed people from all different walks of lives, all backgrounds, all different ethnicities. And it talks about them growing up, the different challenges that they had to face, the different things that they had to overcome, and the different things that, depending on your background, if you grew up in a predominantly good neighborhood or a bad neighborhood, how they were still able to turn those situations around and use them for a positive impact. And so this just kind of shares light on different people's stories to let other people know you're not the only one experiencing that, but you can overcome it. And then this book here, this is my favorite, apparently. It's called My I Am Enough Journal. It's a 365-day journal. And so for those of you who love to write, who are not good at verbally expressing your opinion or verbally standing up for yourself, well, this journal is here to help motivate you on writing out your feelings. That way you still can process them, still can work through those emotions. And then that way, even if you have the confidence and you don't want to speak it, but you can share your truth by writing it and giving it to somebody else to help them better understand you. This is what this journal is for, to help you do that. And it's a 365-day journal. And then my last project, the one that I just got recognized for as an international author, it's my children's book. I love this one. This one is my favorite. This book here just won the international award. And this one is featuring my nieces and nephews. So they are the real life characters in this book. It talks about a time where I took them to an auntie field trip, and we went on a career day fair, and I took them to this career expo, and they got to see all the different kinds of careers of being a firefighter, a doctor, a dentist, an actor, a singer, an astronaut, a flight attendant. Oh, so many different careers they got exposed to, and they fell in love with it. And by the time we left, they were just like, oh my God, I want to go. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it kind of sparked their interest to let them know that they can be whatever they want to be. They don't have to be just a football player, or they don't have to be just a basketball player, but you can be whatever. If you're good at baking, if you love singing, if you love writing, you could become an author. If you love speaking, you can do like me and become a motivational speaker. I speak all over the world. I have an agency. They book me. And so I travel and I tour all over the world speaking for all different age groups. So there is so much that you can do. Um, there is so much that you can love. And yes, journaling is very therapeutic. It does help you get out your feelings. And also, it's a good way of tracking your progress. With you tracking your progress, when you write things out, you can go back a month later, 6 months later, a year later, read where you were then, and then see where you are now and show your growth and how you have grown and how you've overcome things. So that's a good thing about journaling. That's what helped me. And that's how I became confident, was journaling. And that's one thing that I teach my nieces and nephews. And so there's a little rhyme in here in the book that I have with them that we started on the career day when we left. And the rhyme says, I can be whatever I want to be. Nothing can stop me. It starts with me. And so that's just something you can tell yourself every day is you can be whatever you want to be. Nothing can stop you because it starts with you.
Ooh, that is so powerful. I love it. I was trying to keep up with your journey because you gave us so many great pieces to follow, starting with your first book, looking at yourself. I like the way that you stopped and you said, okay, before I begin, I have to I have to take an introspective look at who I am and where I started. And then you gave us more and more because you kept talking about your roadmap and how you overcame the different obstacles that you have. And it's so good for our boys and girls to hear that life may bring you some different obstacles, but you can still achieve with regardless of what you may be served in life. You know, we are not we don't get the opportunity to choose our parents. We don't get the
Right.
opportunity to choose our life. However, as we grow, we are able to see that I can overcome these obstacles no matter what happens in my life. And you have a roadmap, and I like the fact that because you are a writer, you decided to map it all out. You have the roadmap, and then you start looking at look. You said looking through the eyes, like you have a way. There's a principle that we've been learning about, the lens principle, being able to
Right.
see through a specific way. And so I like the way every book has a connection. It takes you through a process of who you are. And so I love the way you said, and you can Google me and you can find me here. So please Google Miss Angela Wynette so you can find those great tools in her books that she is talking about today. Now, I heard you talk about the writing. So tell me a little bit, who encouraged you to start the writing? Because in today's society, writing has become obsolete. It's not
Right.
something that our boys and girls like, oh, I just want to be a writer. Oh, I want to be an author. Oh, so who has inspired you in your life to get these things on paper?
For me, honestly, I always loved to write as a kid. That was always my strong point. When it came to English class or writing, that was always my go-to. Um, because I was not good at expressing my feelings. I was not good at expressing my emotions verbally because, again, of self esteem issues at the time, feeling afraid to speak up for myself. So, writing became my outlet. It became, as someone stated in the chat earlier, it was my therapeutic tool. It was my therapy to help me be able to navigate and manage my feelings, to keep track of where I was, to express myself. And then there was times that I would even write letters to people who had bothered me. Now, whether they read them or not, it was good for me to be able to get it out to help process my feelings. And so it was just something that I always loved to do. I always enjoyed. And later it became not just a hobby, but now my career. So it turned into an amazing thing. And again, I'm still using it to this day, even in therapy. When I went to therapy to help better understand me and the areas that I needed to be better in, the parts that I played in it, it really helped processing that. And so this is why it's important to me and a passion to me to spread that knowledge to others, because I want us all to be our best selves.
Yes, yes, that is so awesome. Super, super awesome. I love how you just take what you're feeling and how you use it, and you keep talking about self-esteem, so I know that that's a part of your agency as a life coach, to coach others to understand who they are and how that they can use those maybe deficits or your weaknesses and your strengths to become
Right.
better in who you are and who you want to become. So in thinking about Black History Month, and our theme for, for this year, we're talking about seeds of change, honoring the hands that shape nations. And so as a part of our curation of events, and this being a part of that, I want you to tell us, how do you hope to inspire this next generation? Because in your bio it talks about that's a piece of who you are and what you want to leave a legacy for this next generation. So can you expound upon that for me?
Most definitely. I love one of the greatest aspects since this journey, since I began, was seeing, Michelle Obama and Kamala Harris, these amazing African American women breaking barriers, doing
Yeah.
the impossible, that things that people thought they would never be able to do in one of the highest offices in the world. And
Yeah.
so that's my stance. That's my belief, is knowing that you are enough, and then helping women, kids of all nations, of all generations, even men, know that you can break that cycle. You are an amazing being. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be whoever you want to be. And the only barrier that is stopping you is you. You have the opportunity to break the ceiling. Like my shirt says, it says, I'm possible, not impossible. It's all about how you look at the word. And so you can determine the outcome all about how you look at the word. And I also have another shirt line that says, because I'm qualified, because you are qualified. No one can tell you what you were not able to do. Only you can do that, because you're the only one who
Yes.
can limit yourself.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. I said, yes, I couldn't hold that last comment into myself. So I apologize. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're
It was just
good.
like,
You're good.
yes, yes, yes. I hope that our students are hearing, they're getting the message. You are able to become whoever you want to. I'm possible. I love that. And then you said you had a few other shirts. Go ahead and show us those shirts with
I
those
do.
titles on.
Yeah, so this is the first one, the one that I have on. This is the kids line, the I'm Possible kids line, and it just
Yes.
crosses out impossible and it highlights the I'm possible to let you know, again, anything is possible. And then the latest one that I have, that latest line, is because I'm qualified. And so that is just reiterating that you are qualified. You can do whatever you want to do. And then the first line that I had was the I am enough. And so that was
Yes.
the one that everybody loved. And it's just a gentle reminder that you are enough. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the answers. All you have to do is start.
And
Just start.
that goes back to your, I see you said my shirt line. So boys and girls, you see that she's not just a life coach, she's not just an author, she is an entrepreneur extraordinaire, because she has lines of clothing, t-shirt lines that she, and but I love the fact that they are affirmations. I am enough. We don't hear that enough. Our students get to hear many different things. And I think the positive affirmations are super important, because it is something that that's embedded in your mind, because they get a lot of, there's other words that can be embedded.
Right.
And so the positivity is super, super amazing. So what I want you to do before we get into our Q&A time, because I know we have many, over 40 people online right now, and so you guys probably have some questions that you want to ask. And so I don't want to take up all the time. I want you, before we move into our Q&A time, I want you to take that book, I'm Possible, and you had an excerpt in there. Would you please read those a line or two for our boys and girls, because I know
Yeah.
we have elementary and secondary, but I really want them to get those affirmations embedded in their hearts.
Yes. And so, again, this is just a book and it explains here about just taking my nieces and nephews on the trip. And so, this is on our way back from the trip as all of my nieces and nephews started quoting what they wanted to be. I want to be a nurse. I want to be an actor. I want to be a singer. This was something that just popped in my head. And we began to sing it on the way home before I dropped them off to their parents. And that line, it just states that I can be whatever I want to be because I have all the possibilities and nothing can stop me. And so
Wow.
you can be whatever you want to be because you have endless possibilities and nothing can stop you.
I heard you said you sang. So are you a singer as well?
I am not a professional singer. I do sing, but I am not a professional singer. I just, as far as I go, is church, and they know give me a good background, and I'm great for it. Don't ask me to leave.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Angela. This has been inspiring to me. I hope it is inspiring our boys and girls. And now I'm going to give open the floor. We have 9 minutes left here. This is a very jam-packed 30 minutes, but I wanted to give them the opportunity to ask questions. So now the floor is open. You guys come on and put in the chat. Any question that you may have for Miss Angela Wynette today, our life coach and author, entrepreneur extraordinaire. Go on and put those questions in. I'm going to do some more shout outs while I'm waiting on our questions to come through, because I did see compliance and PSO, professional standards office is here. I see JP Starks, Vanguard is here. Hello from the library media services. We love our librarians. Shout out to you. Oh, I see foster elementary counselors are in the house. All right. And then I have the grad department. Come on, grad department. Board services is in the house. Hillcrest counselors are in the house. MWBE is in the house. Oh, we are here. All right. I have my first question queued up. Here we go. What advice do you have for students who may have been told no when it comes to doing what they love? Has anyone told you no during your writing journey? This is from Brian Adams High School. All right.
All right, Brian Adams. That's a great question. And yes, I was told no because my first book was very personal. And so it did speak about things that happened in my family that we kind of kept behind closed doors. And so, I had to make that decision to stand up for myself and choose what was right. And so I chose to go ahead and speak my truth. And now my family loves it. Where they get to see me all over the world. They get to brag and say, oh, that's my daughter, that's my niece. And so, um, it was very healing for me and very therapeutic. So sometimes you have to make those tough decisions and still proceed if you know that this is what your passion is, this is what your purpose is, and this is what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm, I hope that answered your question. It's always encouraging to hear someone talk about how they overcome, because in life, we know, for our students, we know we're going to get a no. Everybody's not going to be our hype man and our yes in our yes corner and telling us yes, yes, yes. And sometimes no's help catapult us
Right,
to our places, so we know we get the energy to say, you know what, might be a no right now, but let me
right,
continue to keep going so that I am able to, overcome. And I have this saying in my office, it's only when you stop trying that you fail. So sometimes you get that no, but you don't stop trying. You have to
right.
just keep going.
And also tap into your resources. That's what I did. I went back to school to enhance my knowledge to go about it the right way. I went to counseling. I sought help from others on how they did it. to kind of give me guidance. So reach out to your resources, do your research. There are ways to still accomplish what you want. Just because you got to know does not mean that that's a definite answer.
We have several great questions here. I'm going to go into this next one because it kind of ties into what a little bit of what we were talking about earlier. It says, congratulations on all your accomplishments, Angela. What was your transition like from student to author? What lessons learned would you share with aspiring entrepreneurs and authors?
My transition, if I'm honest, was rocky because you're entering into a new field of uncertainty. And so, it was a leap of faith of, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this the right road that I'm supposed to be traveling? And it was one of those things where, and I talk a lot about finding your purpose. And I knew that this was my purpose because it was something that kept nudging at me, that would not let go. Every time I turned around, somebody kept mentioning to me, or I would read something, or, it would pop up in a daily inspirational quote. And so the transition was not easy, but it was a determination within myself that I knew this is what I was supposed to be doing. I knew this was my purpose. And so, as I stated before, I went to classes to better enrich myself, to enlighten myself, to enhance my knowledge. I also sought, therapy and counseling to make sure that I was doing things in the right manner, for the right reasons, in a healthy state. And so I'm just one of those people that I do whatever I need to. So I did the research, I put in the work to make sure that I was fully aware. And entrepreneurship is not easy. So I tell anybody, when you get ready to do it, make sure that's what you really want to do, and then go for it. You are going to hit roadblocks. You are going to encounter some obstacles, but don't let that be your stopping block, because all it takes is for you to
Yes.
get that one success that can push you over to the top. And then you'll look back and be like, oh my God, I cannot believe here I am. I say it every day when I'm like, oh my God, my face is everywhere. Like, I just, I would never have imagined, but I didn't give up on myself. And that's how I got here, no matter how hard it got.
I love the honesty. I love the transparency because we always, sometimes, I won't say always, but sometimes we look at things as if it's going to all be great and that there won't be any roadblocks to the things that we want to achieve in life. And so thank you for being honest. Thank you for being transparent to say, you know what? It's rocky. It's not easy, but it's a journey. And you have to, just make that decision that you're going to continue to move forward. Oh my goodness, we're running out of time. I have so many questions here. Okay, I'm going to take a few more questions. This is an easy one. I think it's a yes
Okay.
and no question, so we'll go ahead and take it. It says, "Do you teach book writing seminars?" Here's a
I
question.
do. I do. I also ghostwrite for other people who are not sure how to write. So they give me their concepts and I write their books and put their books out for them. So yes, I do.
All right, that's one out the way. Okay, another question. What's the greatest advice you would give to educational professionals? That's Miss McCoy, the real McCoy. I love the real McCoy. She is awesome. So, yes, she wants to know what's the greatest advice you would give to someone that's um educational professional.
Miss McCoy, I would say my mom's a teacher, so she's been a teacher my whole entire life, and so I've watched her journey. And I would say, whatever you do, remember why you're doing it. Don't look
Mm.
at the obstacles that you're facing. Don't look at the roadblocks. Don't look at the government and what they're trying to do and how they're trying to limit you, or the limited resources you have within school. But remember within your heart, within your purpose, for why you're doing it. You're here to make a difference. You're here to make a change. You're here to leave the people that you're teaching better than the way you found them. And so let that be your motivation to keep going, because it's hard. I pray for you guys daily because this is not an easy journey. And so I would definitely say, use that as your reminder, and then lean on your teammates, lean on your other fellow coworkers, and y'all form a group that supports each other. Start your day with affirmations to keep you motivated. That's the best way that I can tell you of how to get through this career, because y'all are facing some hard obstacles, but they are not your definition of your defining point. They're just obstacles. You can get over it. It's a semicolon, it's not the period.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. So we have 1 minute left. I see you, Miss Sandal. I am not overlooking your question. We can talk offline, okay? Uh
And
I
you can reach out to
really
me. I answer text messages, DMs, emails. So reach out to me if y'all have more questions.
awesome, awesome. Well, I want to thank you tremendously for this opportunity to interview and talk with you and just gain so much knowledge for our young boys and girls. For to us here at the Racial Equity Office, that is one of our greatest not I want to say this is what we strive to do on a daily basis. We want to affirm our students. We want to ensure that they are built for success and that they're able to achieve whatever they want to put their minds to do. You know, student academic achievement. We want them to be the very best that they can be. And I hope today that something that you have said has enlightened them and given them that push to go forward. I know I feel like I am enough based just by reading the shirt. You know, that is sticking with me. And that I'm the affirmation I'm possible, you know, and it's definitely something that you have to keep reassuring yourself. But I'm going to let you have the final parting words. If there was the last thing that you would like to say to these wonderful individuals, campuses, and community of Dallas ISD.
My parting words to you would be delete the imposter syndrome. You are what you need to be to succeed. You have everything you need inside of you. You have the resources, you have the ability. So it's start for you to start claiming that, walking in your purpose, and stop questioning who you are. You were built and born for this. So go be
Woo!
amazing.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you,
And
everybody.
thank
Please
you.
just
Thank y'all so much.
give her a virtual hand clap. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You were an inspiration. Everyone, the chat is going off really, really, really all the awesome. Thank you, thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you.
We love it and we are here for it. Thank you for joining us today. And boys and girls, we pray that you have an amazing day as well.
Yes.
And teachers as well. We appreciate everyone for being a part of today's Wednesday webinar. Tune in on February 26th. We will have another amazing author coming, Miss Alice Faye. Don't miss it. We hope to see you then. You guys have a great day.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.